Dear ladies and gentlemen, my name is Natalia and I represent Onme, a natural cosmetics brand from St. Petersburg. We have been creating products that are safe for human and environmental health since 2017. The purpose of today's presentation is to give an overview of the cosmetic industry in Russia. I will define some facts about the Russian cosmetic market, its current trends and forecasts. So let's start with the first fact. The cosmetic market in Russia, as well as the world market, is aging and stagnating as it's completing a cycle. The eco segment within is growing at the same time. Oversaturation with brands leads to inevitable segmentation, after which each segment begins its own development cycle from the beginning. One of these segments is natural cosmetics. In financial terms, the growth of the cosmetic market is insignificant. For example, the sales in 2020 increased by only 1.2%. There are no new cosmetic consumers. They just shift from one niche to another because of the agenda. The global trend for environmental friendliness, the consumer's desire to improve ethical behavior and focus on the needs of the skin, make the niche of natural cosmetics organically grow by 20% per year. This growth will continue and will not slow down for another 3-5 years. It's worth noting that even brands that belong to large concerns began to produce cosmetics with clean or almost clean formulas in Russia, although this is already a common thing for Europe. That is, the mentioned trends have forced even these stationary structures to turn towards the request of the modern consumer. At the same time, the luxury cosmetic brands remain more conservative, not following the eco trends, but its segment is not decreasing from this for now. The pandemic also played a role in the consumer's shift. There is a tendency to decrease the demand for decorative cosmetics. Switching the focus to healthcare has also given growth to the care segment. It also revealed the certain interest of consumers in a budget and efficient products. Russians' real disposable incomes are falling due to the pandemic, the lack of the state support at this time, and huge inflation rates. Fact number 2. Today, Russia is one of the 5 largest markets in Europe in terms of volume. The last 30 years after the collapse of the Soviet Union, there has been a severe decline in light industry, including perfumery and cosmetics. From 1991 to 1996, production in Russia decreased by half. Today, the situation is changing. There is an increase in production volumes, number of local brands, and product quality. Imports are declining and consumers' demand is returning under the influence of global trends. Fact number 3. Russian brands prevail in the eco segment of the Russian market. Over the past few years, the demand for Russian cosmetics has grown strongly due to the fall of the ruble. People began to earn less and therefore pay more attention to budget local brands, which are about 90% of the total volume of the eco segment in Russia. The main problem in importing eco products from abroad is its high cost and long duration, which leaves a strong imprint on the final price of imported goods. A long customs clearance process leads to the fact that the shelf life of product allowed for sale to the consumer is reduced. It's minus 2-3 months from the already small total shelf life of natural products. No one regulates the storage conditions in customs warehouses while the products are undergoing customs clearance, and there is a great risk that the products will deteriorate before they get to the Russian counter. Thus, the prices between domestic and imported products are different, not due to the quality of products, but due to the reduction of other costs, less transportation costs, no taxes on the import of products. And because of the high price competition, distributors are forced to sell not demanded imported cosmetics with huge discounts in order to at least return the invested financial resources. In addition, the low price of Russian brands' cosmetics reduces the probability of product counterfeiting. What is the point of making a fake of a product that costs less than 1,000 rubles? A cream for 3,000 rubles made in Europe. It's a different story. The conscious consumption trend also has an impact. A conscious consumer wonders whether or not he should order cosmetics from abroad, because the carbon footprint of the imported product will be significantly larger, and he makes a choice in favor of local productions. Fact number 4. There is no legal framework in Russia to control greenwashing. There is a law designed to regulate the sphere of organic products, which says that the inscription organic product can be placed only on products that have a corresponding certificate. For violation of this law, the manufacturer faces a fine, but all other statements on products like bio, eco, green are not regulated by law in any way. Therefore, the only currently available option for visually checking the product for environmental friendliness without researching the ingredients and production of the product is an environmental certificate, but there are also some pitfalls. Companies that have decided to declare their product green without passing the certification act in several ways. The most primitive is to put the fake label of a non-existent organization. The second way is to take a well-known label and put it without certification. And the third technique is pseudo-certification. In such systems, as a rule, there are no clear criteria by which a certificate is awarded, and the certification body itself, the inspection organization, doesn't have state accreditation, although it is required by law. So far, there are no laws prohibiting customers' misinformation. Nevertheless, it becomes more and more difficult to mislead the consumers every year. They become more educated. This topic is raised by the media, opinion leaders, and bloggers. There's also a mess with certification. There are many companies that conduct it. Their standards may vary, and their actions are still poorly controlled. Russia has its own voluntary standards for organic cosmetics, Belarus and Leaf of Life, but they are little known. So Russian brands are striving to get a certificate in Europe, especially if there is an intention to enter the international market. Fact number 5. Practically none of the eco manufacturers confirms the product's effectiveness, although it is a powerful tool for attracting consumers from other segments. For many consumers, the uniqueness of the packaging, the luxury of the brand is not as important as functionality, fair price for the product, and price per milliliter. This consumer is looking for a better offer, compares and chooses, and of course he will choose efficiency. But confirming the functionality of cosmetics requires significant investments from the manufacturer. Minimal guideline will cost from 1 to 2,000 euro per SKU. More thorough research and confirmation of effectiveness can cost up to 100,000 euro per and above per SKU. Not everyone can afford it, and not everyone sees the point yet. But we see, for us, high quality and effective cosmetics are synonyms. Therefore, creating a new formula, we choose active ingredients that already had confirmed its effectiveness and have international approval. The finished product with an annotation to it, including the intended action, we send to an independent laboratory to confirm the effectiveness and receive an expert opinion with the results of the effectiveness in percentage terms, graphs, and conclusion of specialists. And on its basis, we confidently declare to the description of the finished product on the label. By doing this, we moved from competitors in natural cosmetics in the direction of functional cosmetics, but we still remain within the eco segment. The next fact is that cosmetics for sensitive skin is a missed niche in the Russian market's eco segment. More than 70% of Russians report signs of hypersensitivity of the skin. At the same time, there are no products or proper lines for sensitive skin among Russian brands or natural cosmetics where there would be ingredients restoring the hydrolipid barrier, and no fragrances in the form of allergenic essential oils, for example. Therefore, we want to be one of the first in this concept and to come to the complete exclusion of perfumes and essential oils from our indelible products. By excluding companies that can cause sensitivity and allergy-prone skin exacerbation, we minimize these probabilities and show the market that cosmetics can be safe, functional, and natural at the same time. Fact number 7. There is a problem in the consumer's transition into the eco segment. As a rule, consumers are looking for a new cosmetic niche for a reason, as they face some kind of problem before that: the unethical production of cosmetics, inefficiency, reduced income, etc. To make such consumers ours, we need to show up in the arena of choice on time. It doesn't take much effort to attract a client inside a niche, since most likely he already knows what natural cosmetics are. As for customers moving from other segments, for example, shifting from conventional cosmetics, or those who still have a granny with cucumbers and eyes fresh in their memory and do not understand that a safe formula can be as effective as luxury, this is more difficult. Brand needs to be accessible and to stand out on the shelf both offline and online and competently convey the product features, because it differs from the usual mass market products at least organoleptically, in texture, smell, terms, and conditions of storage. This shift from the mass market to the eco shelf is rather traumatic, and we want it to be as seamless as possible. Therefore, we try to educate our audience on our social networks. The next fact, online sales in Russia are growing, but the offline format still prevails. According to research results, many people still prefer to buy cosmetics live because it can be viewed and estimated organoleptically. Its texture, smell, and usability. This is explained by the fact that cosmetics of proper quality by Russian law cannot be exchanged and returned, which means that the price of this mistake is high. At the first touch with the product, information on the internet can only serve to attract attention and to show new product characteristics, ingredients, technologies used, consumers' reviews, influencers' opinions, etc. The first purchase will still happen in an offline store if possible, but the following can be already made online. On the other hand, there are indie brands of cosmetics whose products cannot be bought otherwise than in online stores due to the fact that it's rather difficult to get on the shelf offline. You need to have sufficient recognition, a suitable matrix of goods, affordable prices, and large volumes. Small brands of the eco segment cannot afford it. Nevertheless, more and more eco shelves are appearing in federal shop networks. In terms of the geography, there is a decrease of the geographical concentration of the cosmetic market around Moscow and St. Petersburg, which was before. Large offline networks are opening their new shops and conducting targeted expansion in the regions. We think this picture will change pretty soon, though. The generation that grew up in the internet era is unconditionally ready to use it to realize most of their needs and interests. It is a powerful source of e-commerce expansion in general and in the field of beauty and health products in particular. There is also an interesting trend. Already today, consumers, mainly the residents of Moscow and St. Petersburg, the largest cities in Russia, are switching to the 1 or 2 hours delivery format, and this format of fast delivery is developing strongly. Residents of small towns will also have to retrain to the online format because there is a larger assortment here, since natural cosmetics cannot travel far to remote warehouses due to a short shelf life, and stay there for a long time waiting for it to get on the shelf. It's cheaper and more convenient for the manufacturer to sell online since marketplaces have less commission than offline networks, and it's easier to ship goods directly from your warehouse. What main conclusions can we make? The cosmetic industry remains one of the industries in Russia that persistently endures unstable financial and economic conditions. The eco market will grow at the same rate as in previous years, if not faster, and the mass market will stagnate or fall. By analogy with the world market, our consumer will soon become primarily focused on the brand features and quality declared by manufacturers. This trend is already observed in large cities and will spread to the regions. The growth of the market will primarily be determined by the people's level of living. With its increase, it will be possible to expect an increase in consumption of non-essential goods, which include cosmetics. Buyers are changing their attitude to the purchase channels, increasingly perceiving offline and online as a whole, using all the opportunities provided, including online payments and using offline stores to select, receive, or return purchases. And sellers that provide multi-channel technologies ensuring the consumer's convenience are prospering. That completes our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention, ladies and gentlemen.